Nigerians mark Easter with reading from scriptures, songs of praise, and prayer for the nation. Federal government looks inward on boosting irrigation farming through more efficient, modernized practices.
The president is very serious and is very keen about expanding irrigation.
And Nigerian police extradites murder suspect from Qatar over the murder of a university student. Hello and thank you for joining us on the news. And this is the news at 11 on NT News 24. We are live in Abuja. I am Charles Alpha. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu extends his warmest wishes to Christians across Nigeria and around the world as they celebrate the joyous occasion of Easter. The president joins millions of believers in commemorating the resurrection of Jesus Christ, a symbol of hope, renewal, and the triumph of life over death. In his Easter message, President Tinubu emphasized the importance of love, unity, and peace. Values are the core of the Christian faith and fundamental to the progress and prosperity of the nation. He called on all Nigerians to embrace the spirit of compassion and understanding, particularly in these challenging times. He also celebrates with brothers and sisters and asking them to renew their commitment to building a peaceful, prosperous, and inclusive Nigeria. The president also urged Nigerians to extend acts of kindness and strengthen community bonds, and continue to pray for the nation's continued peace, stability, and growth. President Tinubu wishes all Christians a blessed and joyous Easter, filled with love, hope, and the spirit of renewal. Now, Easter Sunday in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, was marked by veteran church services as Christians gathered to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Worshippers filled various denominations with services characterized by hymns, prayers, and reflection on the significance of the day. Ekene Ndule reports.
Message of resurrection of Jesus Christ resonated at Our Lady Queen of Nigeria Catholic Pro Cathedral, Abuja, as the priest preached the sermon of hope for the faithful.
Jesus resurrected from the dead, and by his resurrection he conquered and crushed death and the power of the grave. And by so doing, he tells us that there is life beyond the grave.
At Church of Epiphany, Anglican Communion, it was a celebration of liberation and victory, as signified by the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
But by the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, he paid the price and died on the cross, and he resurrected, destroying the power of sin and death, giving us freedom, liberation, deliverance, healing, and salvation.
Reverend Prince Will Plangman Dayak of Kokin Church, Gwarempa, urged the congregation to follow the teachings of Jesus Christ and live a life of purpose.
The church cannot be glorified without result. Jesus came, sacrificed his last blood, and that last blood was meant that the sin of the entire universe be taken off.
At the Christ Apostolic Church, Jabi, the message focused on the sacrifice that Jesus made for the redemption of mankind.
We have sinned, the whole world has sinned, and we have come short of the glory of God. So Jesus Christ came, offered himself, that is the sacrifice, and offered himself for the redemption of a man and reconciliation of man to God. And that is exactly what we are celebrating today.
Amid prayers for the nation and messages of hope, church leaders urged Nigerians to embrace peace, resilience, and compassion in the face of challenges. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
Earlier, we were joined by Reverend Canon Smart Simon, NTA Chapel of Resurrection, to give us more on the Easter celebration. Now is the excerpt.
It's good to have you join us, and happy Easter to you, sir. Sir, how significant is Easter, especially in Christianity?
The significance of Easter cannot be overemphasized. In Easter, we celebrate the resurrection of Christ from the death. You remember that on a Good Friday, we celebrated the significance of his crucifixion, how he was tried even though he was not guilty, but he was crucified and he died on the cross, and therefore buried on a Friday. And on Sunday morning, we celebrate his resurrection. Talking about how significant it is, I would say that without the resurrection, there is no Christianity, there is no faith. And what we believe in is in vain. It is the resurrection of Christ that actually distinguishes Christianity from other religions of the world. By his resurrection, he conquered death, he conquered sin. So that is how, in fact, everything that Jesus Christ came to the world to do is to make sure that there is death and resurrection at the end of the day, because he has to pay the price for our sin, and therefore died and he resurrected. And that is what made Christianity distinct from other religions of the world. We celebrate empty tomb, and that tells you how important it is for Easter and resurrection to Christianity.
Okay, Reverend, what lessons do you think Nigerians can learn from Easter, especially in the quest to build the country's economy?
The lesson should be that of love. It is as a result of love that Jesus Christ came and died on the cross, that he will save mankind. The Bible says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life." For us to build a nation where everyone will be comfortable, we must love one another. And besides love, there is need for sacrifice. Jesus Christ sacrificed himself on our behalf. And as a result, there is need for us to also sacrifice for one another. Our leaders must sacrifice, and the followers as well must sacrifice. Thirdly, Jesus Christ was obedient. The Bible says he was obedient unto death. He died on the cross. All of us as Nigerians, we must be obedient. Obedient to the word of God, obedience to the laws of the land. We have found ourselves in a place where people are breaking laws on a daily basis. People are not obedient to God, neither are they obedient to the constitution of the land. It is important that Nigerians must be obedient, and our leaders who swore to adhere the constitution of the land must be obedient to the constitution. If they say they will make sure that they uphold the constitution, once they swear in, a number of them found themselves breaking the law, breaking the constitution. They must stand by the constitution and obey the constitution of the land. I believe these three things will help us. If we can strictly obey them, we will be able to have a nation where everybody will be comfortable.
Sir, you just mentioned some of these lessons from Easter. How can these lessons foster national rebirth?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, that already we have challenges here and there. And as a result of these challenges, it is important that at this time, we should love. When we love each other, it will bring about national rebirth. Right now, we know that we are divided along the ethnic lines. We are divided along religious divide. It is important that we should love one another, irrespective of the religion we belong to, irrespective of wherever we come from. We are all Nigerians. What should matter to us is the fact that we are Nigerians. And because we are Nigerians, let's love one another and work towards a nation building. When we do that, it will bring about new rebirth.
Okay. Thank you so much, Reverend Canon Smart Simon, the Vicar, NTA Chapel of Resurrection, Gariki, Abuja, for sharing your thoughts with us on the significance of Easter.
Thank you so much.
All right, moving forward. Now, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Professor Nentawe Yilwalda, has presented relief materials to victims of attacks in Bokos local government area to alleviate their plight. The minister made the donation during his visit to the attacked communities in Bokos local government area of Plateau State. And Priscilla Gurumnam reports.
The minister was in Hurti community in Dafo, Bokos local government area, following the recent attacks that left some persons dead and property destroyed. The minister was at the Church of Christ in Nations and the St. Thomas Catholic Church, all in Bokos, to commiserate with the people, where he presented the relief materials. Professor Nentawe calls for collaborative efforts from critical stakeholders in combating the recurring attacks.
My heart is broken. I'm sad, and so also Mr. President. And that's when Mr. President asked me to come and do an on-the-spot assessment. And what I've seen is not palatable. The humanitarian crisis here is huge. The destruction is huge. And I'll report as it is, and then we'll see how we can respond to it.
President, Ron Development Association Stephen Malo and other community members expressed gratitude to the federal government for identifying with them in their trying moments.
We are pleading with the government to help resettle our people back to their ancestral homes.
They also called for adequate security presence in the local government. Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has provided critical relief materials to families displaced by recent farmer header clashes in Jahun and Miga local government area of Jigawa State. The intervention aims to alleviate hardship while community leaders call for dialogue to prevent future conflict. Awal Mohammed Kazauri reports on the distribution and push for lasting reconciliation.
Lost and livelihoods shattered after a clash erupted between farmers and herders in Miga and Jahun. Homes and farmlands were destroyed, leaving dozens of families in urgent need of assistance. In collaboration with local authorities, NEMA distributed 300 bags of food staples, including rice, maize, spaghetti, and vegetable oil, to 60 affected households. Each family of the deceased received additional support to help them rebuild their lives.
Only to this community, to the entire nation, without peace, we'll never make any progress. So, first and foremost, we should maintain peace, obey law and order.
Relief material is not mean to compensate you what you lost. It's just a gesture to bring succor, to bring relief to the affected populations. So it's only God that will pay back, but at least we are calling for the people everywhere to imbibe peace. That is better.
Security agencies and traditional leaders oversaw the distribution to ensure fairness. Meanwhile, grassroots peace initiatives are gaining momentum to foster understanding between farmers and herders. As relief reaches those impacted, the broader challenge remains addressing the root cause of these clashes so as to build a more secured future for Jigawa State. In Dutse, Awal Muhammad Kazauri, NTA News.
We will be back with more reports after the break. Please stay with us.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the breathtaking scenery of the plateau, in noonday and nighttime, we set out to bring to you captivating stories that evoke your emotions. 4 fascinating documentaries and reports on day-to-day issues with expert analysis, Tune in to NTA News 24, DSTV Channel 419, GoTV Channel 26, StarTimes Channel 101 and 433, and Free TV Channel 703.
Thank you for staying with us. The federal government is strategizing to enhance extensive agricultural production through the adoption of micro-irrigation system. This formed part of discussions during a visit by the international team on irrigation and drainage to various irrigation schemes in Kano State. And Aminu Omar tells us more.
The purpose of the visit, according to the delegation, was to witness firsthand the transformation taking place in Nigeria's irrigation sector and to replicate similar models in their respective countries. The Transformation Irrigation Management in Nigeria Trimin project, supported by the World Bank, was described by the delegates as a game changer helping farmers shift from old habits of water misuse to more efficient and productive practices.
Farmers are now having value for the money that they are investing on the irrigation project, and this is making them happy. You now have more farmers coming on board.
The president is very serious and is very keen about expanding irrigation. Our hope is that we will now come up with a program that will be able to produce food maybe 2 or 3 or 4 times in a year, instead of just say only once in a year.
The Hadija Jam'ar River Basin Development Authority is one of the beneficiaries of Trimin project, with more than 2,000 hectares of farmland now under cultivation using improved irrigation system. One of the beneficiaries, Zainab, a rice farmer at the Kano River scheme, said her output has doubled since the adoption of techniques learned on modern irrigation. The international team also held an interactive session with farmers and local officials, assuring them of continued collaboration and knowledge exchange across African nations. In Kano, Amin Umar, NTA News.
And having been on the run to evade prosecution for the murder of his girlfriend in 2023, the long arm of the law has finally caught up with Benjamin Best Nyerogu, known as Killer Boy, whose extradition from Doha, Qatar, has been completed by Nigerian police in collaboration with Interpol, National Central Bureau, Force Headquarters, Abuja, and Qatari judicial authorities. Musa Toliat reports that the Interpol and CB has handed over the murder suspect to the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Police Command, for diligent prosecution.
The extradition of the murder suspect, Benjamin Best, alias Killer Boy, followed a petition submitted by the family of 21-year-old Augusta Onuabagbe, said to have been murdered by the suspect in 2023 and had been on the run since committing the dastardly act.
On the instruction of the Inspector General of Police,
this gathering is therefore a formal handing over of the extradited murder suspect from the Commissioner of Police, Interpol Annex Lagos, to the Commissioner of Police, Lagos Police Command, on the orders of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetogun.
I'm here to formally hand over a murder suspect, one Benjamin Best, 9 years ago, 28 years, who was extradited from Qatar to Nigeria. In addition, I equally hand over exhibits recovered from the suspect and other items for the command further action.
We have taken over from CP Olubode Ojajuni, the CP Interpol Lagos, the suspect wanted by this command for quite some time now, getting to like 2 years. He committed the crime of murder on the 13th day of July 2023. The investigation has been ongoing till when the suspect escaped this country to another country. So we want to say that we are going to round up investigation into this case and ensure that the suspect has a day in court.
CP Jima also stressed that recent intelligence gathered shows that the murder suspect, Killer Boy, is linked to more organized crimes.
All these various activities, which equally link into drug peddling, drug run, and other kind of illicit deals and criminal activities. We believe he's not working alone, and we are going to expand our investigation to cover all crimes that himself and his gang must have committed.
The successful extradition operation underscores the strength in international collaboration and the commitment by Nigeria police to track down and bring fugitives to justice, regardless of the location outside the country. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
The Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has intercepted a cocaine shipment concealed in 20 sets of religious books heading to Saudi Arabia, weighing a total of 500 grams. This seizure occurred on April 15, 2025 at a courier company in Lagos during a routine inspection. A statement by Director Media and Advocacy Femi Babafemi says on the same day, NDLEA operatives seized 2.8 kilograms of load, a potent cannabis strain hidden in a carton from the United States. In Kano, 22-year-old Muhammad was arrested with 277 ampoules of pentazocine hidden on his body while supplying drugs to bandits. Another suspect, Muhammad Abdurrahman Abdulaziz, was caught with 30 kilograms of skunk. In a separate raid on April 16 in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, Kebbi, and Lagos, NDLEA officers seized 557.2 kilograms of skunk, 5.6 kilograms of methamphetamine and heroin, leading to the arrest of 4 suspects, 1,100 kilograms of skunk, with the driver also arrested. NDLEA also arrested a suspect with 11.5 kilograms of skunk in Anambra and another with a mixture of cannabis and opioids in Osun. NDLEA operatives destroyed 2 cannabis farms in Edo State, recovering over 3,000 kilograms of the plant. The NDLEA reaffirms its determination to continue its war against drug abuse, conducting educational outreach across schools and markets nationwide. Chairman Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, retired, commended the efforts of the agency's operatives in reducing drug supply and demand, the statement said. And the Kogi State government has expressed gratitude to the nation's security agencies for their dedication to the state safety while mourning the loss of 2 operatives during the recent joint operations targeting criminal elements. In Lokoja, the Commissioner for Information and Communication, Kingsley Fawo, praised the Nigerian Army, Navy, Air Force, Nigeria Police Force, Department of State Services, and Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps for their bravery and cooperation in the operation. He said the success of the operation in Mopamuro local government area, Kababunu, Ijumu, and Lokoja highlights the strength of interagency collaboration. He stated that he also expressed sadness over the fallen operatives, calling them heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice. Fawo reaffirmed the state government support for security agencies under Governor Ahmed Usman Dodo, emphasizing ongoing investment in resources and partnerships to combat crime. He encouraged residents to remain vigilant and provide timely information to aid security efforts. The Association of Catholic Medical Practitioners of Nigeria, FCT chapter, will continue to give back to the society through medical outreach and other care to Nigerians in need. The president of the association, Dr. Maureen Umeakwegulu, stated this during the medical outreach to more than 1,000 inmates of Kuje Medium Security Custodial Center. Ibrahim Belogunda reports.
Outreach by Association of Catholic Medical Practitioners of Nigeria, FCT chapter, is part of activities lined up for its Easter corporal work of mercy, aimed at reaching out to those in need without expecting anything in return. Although our camera was denied access beyond this point, more than 1,000 inmates of Kuje Custodial Center were screened and treated of hypertension, diabetes, malaria, ulcer and skin infections, among others. The president of the Association of Catholic Medical Practitioners of Nigeria, FCT chapter, Dr. Maureen, and her Secretary General, Dr. Ife, stressed their commitment to give back to the society through such medical interventions.
Some of them are hypertensive, and the ones that are hypertensive is not well controlled. In fact, we recorded so many, we see some 200 and 100, which can lead to stroke. Then we talk of the diabetic aspect, and some is peptic ulcer, and some is complaint because of the psychological. That's why when we were sitting inside, we sat among according to different specialties, and we screen them. We screen them for malaria, for hepatitis, for HIV, but that one we screen with consent. Then we did other investigations for them, and they were quite enthusiastic.
So many of them were stable, but had what we call dermatitis. Skin infection that causes a lot of itching, discomfort, and they were not comfortable with that. They were anxious to receive treatment for that in particular. They are doing a good job. I didn't see any malnourished inmates, and that gave me a lot of delight.
They commended the management of the custodial center for its warm reception. In Abuja, Ibrahim Bello Gunda, NTA News.
And with that, we conclude the news tonight. Many thanks for watching. I am Charles Alpha.